Okay, so the video was playing, but I tried to remove it and then it took me out. So now I just cut off the video. Fun times. That's kind of annoying, not even gonna lie. But yeah. Mm. I think that I have. Well, maybe not, but. Okay, that would make sense. Just thought about something. I think my shoe was too tight. And when you have shoes that are tight, they'll press into your nails to try to make them ingrown. And so I need to not wear those shoes because they were too tight. It would definitely stab my nails into my skin, and it's kind of painful right now. That's why I took off those. I used to get my nails did every month for my feet, and it got to the fact where my feet was hurting, or my big toe was hurting because I feel like it was pressing into my skin. And I got time for the ingrown nail. I don't want it. So I just stopped getting them, and I'm trying to let my nails grow back naturally. So that way they can just go back to being pretty. Oh, yeah. I don't want them to. I don't want them to go stab because I like my feet and I think I have pretty feet. So we don't need that, you know? Just trying to revert back to my normal body. My nails used to be buku long and they're growing back, but it just basically means like I gotta stop getting them done and stuff like that. My nails on my toes always did grow long in cricket though, so that ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing. But my nails, like a lot of people would think my nails long right now, but they definitely used to be longer. So like, I do not recommend always getting your nails did. Well, I wasn't always getting them done, but I definitely got them done because I was trying to be, you know, around like all the other girls to get their nails did. At the salon all the time. 10 out of 10 would not recommend doing that. Let your nails grow back and don't touch them. That's what I'm doing. As much as I really want my toes to be white, as much as I want to have a cute little white pedicure, my nail health is more important. Just go buy some white nail polish at some point. I'm just pressing my nail to try to lift it up. Nice. First time I've ever felt like that in these shoes, though. Sorry for the long pause. Yeah, that was painful. And it's only just that 1 foot, so, okay. But anyway. Chapter 4. God's new glory for Jerusalem.
Look at your Michael Jackson nephew.
Hold on, wait. Oh my goodness, okay. Just saw a video of my nephew. I'm doing a Michael Jackson thing. He's 5, so like. Yeah, anyway. The Lord's new glory for Jerusalem. New glory, okay, new. Everything new, 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 new. Okay. And in that day, 7 women shall take the hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And that day shall the prince of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass, and this is italicized, that he that is left in Zion, and this is italicized, he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. Italicized, even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies, a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of the flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from the storm and from rain. The last verse makes me feel like a place to go within any circumstance. But the rest of it, the 6 verses of this chapter, I don't know what to think just yet. I feel like I need to stop questioning myself, because every time I think I don't know a word and I look up, even if I don't tell you what word it is, I'm surprised of how I actually do know the word and that I'm not mistaken. But I don't want to like say something wrong aloud in the video, because even though the videos are just kind of like to backtrack my thoughts, there are some people that actually look at this video, and so I don't want to tell somebody something wrong if you actually paying attention to what I'm saying. But I'm very I'm gonna just stop guessing myself. Or try to stop guessing myself. They're doing this to take away whatever shame they have. 7 women hold of 1 man. What's so important about you? Finna stop putting your damn calls and all my stuff. Sit down. Sit down. Okay. And what's so important about the 1 man? Like, who is the 1 man? We would eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, and then let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So if you're trying to do things on your own way to take away from disappointment and disapproval, and if this is going to be a good thing, then is it to be assumed that, is it like, the way that I'm thinking of it is just like not being influenced by someone else is where my mind went. Because of last, in chapter 3, like, it's, you know, the last 2 sections of the third chapter is the lack of regard for people and how disrespectful they are. They know, some of them know what they do and they just accept it. But then the good people, like, they are to basically be protected, but the things around them is kind of like set out to destroy them because they could be of influence. And then Judgment for Women's Pride basically just talks about how rude the woman is just because she's beautiful and she has everything, and then saying that, well, this thing can be taken from you and the way you acted. And so then the new glory, because in the old one there's people that are gifted and not using the gifts to glorify God, and then people are acting a fool basically. It says the Lord's new glory is coming from, you know, it starts off talking about women grabbing the hold of this 1 man who's saying, we're gonna women shall take hold of 1 man, saying, we're gonna behave this way to not be, you know, considered just like disproved. So we're gonna change certain things. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. So is that saying, like, for the people that get out of certain, like, things or strongholds? Like, maybe when certain people, you know, they decide on how they're gonna behave to not be be disapproved of. And then it says, and it shall come to pass, he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. So the people left. So, like, even everyone that is written among all the languages. So is this the, like, this is when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and the purge the blood of Jerusalem for the mist. So basically, just like, this seems like a detox. So getting rid of, like, the bad, and the things that's impacting. And then once that happens, it'll be a shift. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies cloud and smoke by day and shining and flame by night. And upon the glory shall be a defense. So defense and maybe protection. And then the last verse just makes me think, you'll always find a place, to go in whatever situation. So what I'm thinking is that maybe this section is like about just like, since it says the new glory for Jerusalem, so compared to the old one, I guess we would have to know, right? But what was the old glory? Is Jerusalem's future. Going back to chapter 1, when it says, Jerusalem's future, how has the faithful city become an harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. So once upon a time, this was a place full of faith and, probably a place that God favors. And now it says, but now murderers. The silver has become dross, palm wine mixed with water. The princes are rebellious. The companions of thieves, everyone loves gifts. So people are so materialistic. They're so focused on all these other things. And so now the focus is not, it's not saying not the focus, but I think it went from trying to get people to stop worshiping these other things to the glory of them coming out of that. When they're finally, it says, to take away our reproach. So they're trying to get rid of the disapproval that they've had. Assuming the disapproval would be coming from God, or because knowing that bad things happen and Jesus is upset with you is how people in the past kind of believe if something's going wrong in your life, it's because you did something to make God angry. Not all the time that's the case, not all the time, but sometimes that is the case. And sometimes you have problems not because you made God angry, but because you did something without God. Because God knows how to maneuver the situations for you. And if you go to Him first, then you'll know how to maneuver it. But if you don't do that, then there's no way of knowing how to do that. Because you're doing things on your own, you're doing them your way. And so if these people are trying to take away reproach or disappointment or disapproval, then they're trying to change their lives around. So they're trying to, they said they're eating their own bread and wearing their own clothing. To me, that would indicate that beforehand they weren't doing these things. They were wearing someone else's clothing and eating someone else's bread and not being called by their own names. And basically it seems like taking on an identity that wasn't for them. And clearly that would be the thing that would cause the reproach if they're doing things their way now to take away the reproach. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. If they are saying, I'm going to make my own clothing, wear my own clothing, eat my own stuff, do my own thing, so I don't have disapproval, it means they're trying to get back in good graces, which means that they weren't in good graces to begin with, and to have gotten them in not good graces in the first place, they had to be doing the opposite. If that makes right. Right. So, say if they are, and mind you that Jerusalem originally was, apparently, according to the first chapter, a place a place of righteousness and faithfulness. So beforehand, they were on the right track. But if something got into their distraction or sent out to get them off path, like it says in the other chapter about how the things around them will cause them to have error and to destroy the way of the past. So trying to destroy the way of the past, I'm thinking Jesus. Trying to live by faith, trying to live by the narrow path of knowing and being with Jesus, and the things around you is trying to keep you from doing that. So once upon a time they were on a good path, and then the things around them is clearly trying to destroy that path and had got influenced and impacted them. So now if they're easily influenced by these things, then that's a bad thing, because now these people are starting to behave a certain way. Hypothetically trying to like relate this to the world that we live in now. If we were once upon a time a place, a world of good and righteousness and faithful people, I guess for the example, once upon a time when back in, my parents' and grandparents' days, you could be outside all hours of the night until the street light came on because you had to go to bed, but there wasn't people just out on the street murdering people in that time of night. It was just kids playing, and people worked together, like, families, neighbors worked together. Neighbors knew everybody and took care of everyone and took care of others' children. If you did something, best believe the whole neighborhood knew about it, and it got back to your parent by the end of the day, and by the time you got home, your mom knew about it and you got that spanking. Is how my parents and grandparents told me things went for them, and they worked as a community. Even gang members didn't just shoot and kill everyone. They had an issue and they took it up with the one person they had an issue. It wasn't all this gang banging and jumping in. My father was just like, if you had an issue with someone, you fought and you got over it. Once you fought, the beef was over. 9 times out of 10, you was probably friends with them afterwards. Like, it was just like, once you fought, that was it, right? And now we live in a world where this is not the case. You're starting to be influenced by everything around you. The music that we listen to telling you how you can't allow people to get away with certain things, and that you have to beat up these people, and you have to have multiple women, and you have to use a man for his money and dog him out, and you have to kill this person because they disrespected you, and all these things that are getting influenced in the people around us. They're thinking, now I have to do these things, so now I'm going to behave like this, and now I gotta act a certain way. And then if for it to say one day it says 7 women would get a hold of one man saying, I'm gonna do it my way, then it would be like one day certain people, it just clicks for some people, assuming that 7 women could just be anybody, and they get a hold of one person. I don't know if they're saying get a hold of a person, of maybe they're just like get a hold of them and saying they were in the room with them. Maybe a one man saying, maybe it means that he was saying these things and influenced him. Maybe they got into the right room with the right person that influenced them, that was speaking of God, saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the right thing. And like how you go to church, maybe you're going through something and it takes the right person to say the right thing that'll be like, yeah, I want to get my life together. So then it just clicks for some people that receive that message to where they want to get their life together. Maybe that's kind of the vibe that it's giving, that it only takes one. Like, it only takes one thought, one person, that could have triggered that thought into your head, which also ties back into the earlier, like, chapter 3 of being, a person's being able to heal. So, like, it could only just take that one. And these people, these women, these 7 women have gotten a hold of one man saying, we will do this, we will do this, we will do this, and apparently to, like, you know, not be this new thing that we've become. Because if once upon a time we were just like a peaceful community, then all of a sudden now the surrounding around us has caused us to be aggressive and violent, and then we hear this one person saying, "Hey, we don't have to be influenced by that. We don't have to listen to this and actually do it. We don't have to abide by this. We can have a mind of our own, and this is not who we are, so let's not do this and, you know, be disapproved because originally this isn't who we are to begin with." And then saying that that is the day that's like a glorified day because it's just like a transformation or start of, you know, people starting to have their eyes open or think about things for themselves and not be influenced so easily. If that makes sense. I wish I knew how to say it in a different way. Heavenly Father, give me the words. And the strength. And it's kind of like we don't have to do these things, and then 9 times out of 10 that raises, you know, the interest of people, especially if it's public. Some people start to pick sides of, yeah, you know, they're right, or he's right, or she's right. We don't have to do this. This isn't like me. I am gonna switch and change my life around in this because this isn't something that I really have a heart to do. And there's some people that will want to continue doing it. And then at that point, you kind of separate from knowing who's for what and who's against what. And then once that's settled, I feel like that's the God wiping away the daughters of Zion, you know, the people that are choosing certain material luxuries in life and choosing to be so caught up on materialistic things and choosing to be disrespectful and choosing to be hurtful to people and choosing this because of their own personal gain. And once you kind of know what that is and differentiate, you can remove yourself, or God will remove it for you. Trust me. God has no. It's one prayer that God answers mine in an instant. It's if He's for me. Remove Him when I tell you how fast. Like, them memes and them videos do not be joking. Like, I be if He's for me. Girl. They all gone. Don't care. You know? Vanish. You feel me? So I feel like that's more of like how God will get rid of certain things He will. I feel really daisy, like I feel in a daze. And my head feels airy. And I don't really like that. Because whenever I feel like I'm on a roll, my brain just feels like it's being blocked. And I've always had a problem with that. Like, I don't trust that for nothing. I never have. It's like someone's controlling your potential of unlock of potential. That's what it feels like. It's always felt like that. And I've done some not so smart things in my life that I wish I could take back. But hey, road grudges. I'm still here. Yeah. I don't know. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, upon her assembly the cloud, and smoke by day. Like a shade and the shining of a flaming fire by night, which would be important because flames is light and also warmth at night because it gets cold. So, and then I only think of that because it says, "For upon all the glory shall be a defense." And when I think defense, it's like protective. So I looked at that verse as more like for upon all the glory shall be a defense. I just think like protection. Right? Right? What is that? Can I have my mac and cheese? Can I have my mac and cheese? On all the glory shall be a defense. And glory is about people, or it sounds like it's about people breaking out of the habits and kind of getting back to the roots of who they are in Christ, which is obviously a glorious moment. And with that comes with, like, a protection no matter what your situation or where you go. That's what I get from that. In chapter 5 it says the parable of the vineyard. And parables, a story used to teach you a lesson. I have a Bible study book I read 2 chapters today. And I'm trying to think what's the big lesson of today. So I can write in this. Well, in this one, I don't know if I'm gonna write in this today, but and then orator, public speaker. So I was right about that. Yay. So think about this. All the things going not good on the earth. There's someone somewhere in the family saying, hey, you need to be the leader, and he's like, no. And then it's already like, that's bad because they spoke out their mouth that they wouldn't do these things, and then all these people are disrespectful, they don't care about how or what they're doing and how wicked it is, and then they're gonna reap what they sow, and the good people should just remain calm because they'll get their benefits for being the Lord's child, and then the Lord will start to involve himself when, like, going to the older people first, because it seems like, you're the reason, like, this is kind of falling upon you because you did certain things, you're influencing this, and now this is what's happening. People are acting a fool, and I'm gonna show them what it means to act a fool. I'm gonna take away all this stuff, and then when people realize this is not who I am as a child of Christ, and that I don't have to be involved in this, I'm going to do this my way, just to take away the shame that I've brought into people. This will be a good day that will bring glory upon God, and I will be protected for doing so. Look at the sun coming out. I love that. An application to me. Try not to be so easily influenced, maybe? Or oh, that was such a cute meow, not even gonna lie. Thank you, mommy. That was a cute meow. I don't know if there was a theme recurring, but Today's Thursday. Today is the 27th. I think it only takes one to make a difference. For observation, I want to put the people of Jerusalem. Do I know how to spell that right? Okay. The people of Jerusalem. How do I say this? In my own words too. God. Destroyed by things meant them off their path. Became out control. Disrespect and materials. Well, got it taken away. And try. Good again. For application, I put it only takes one to make a difference. Be that difference. Don't say you can't. Don't doubt God's will. And then separately, don't behave as if you are better than someone based on what you have or don't have. It ain't always because you have some materialistic thing. It could be because you don't have some problems. You could think you're better. You're not. Because you can be placed in that situation and you can have things taken away from you. Because things can easily be taken away or added unto you. Be kind. And that is it for the day. And I'm gonna smash on this homemade mac and cheese that I made. Your girl trying to get her wifey skills up. You'll see this homemade. I'm talking about I done put heavy whipping cream and milk and different cheeses sprinkled into on my own time. Your girl getting her wifey skills up. I gotta perfect this mac and cheese recipe though. Gotta perfect the skill. All right. Bye.